Que lo que mi gente, what's up everybody, it's your boy J-Rod. So today's video I'm going to be sharing with you a creepy story time that happened to me in Cartagena, Colombia. No, this is not clickbait. That's actually one of the reasons why I didn't want to do this video, because I didn't want people to come on here thinking like, oh, here go J-Rod with another crazy story time. You know, he's just looking for views and clicks and stuff, and that's definitely not the case. I don't think people realize how often bad things or like crazy stuff happens when a person travels. You know, at least in my situation, I have several stories of things I could talk about on my channel of just crazy events that happen when I travel. But this one in particular definitely stood out to me, and that's why I want to make a video about it. Stuff happens all the time when you travel, like all the time, bro. And the thing about it is, you know, people, they see these influencers or their favorite YouTubers and they're going to all these different countries and, you know, they're Instagramming and posting it. And while that stuff looks cool, it also can be very dangerous. So that's kind of the purpose of this video, is just to share with you like some things that you need to be aware of. Because while, yes, you might be in paradise, trouble still does happen in paradise. It does. And then the second reason why I didn't want to do this video is because I don't want to scare people from traveling to Cartagena, because Cartagena is an amazing, dope city. I actually did a review on it. So if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to leave it right here. But, and in that video, I talk about how I didn't really have much bad to say about this place. Because it really is a dope city. I put this like in my top 10. I really love Cartagena a lot. But there was a situation that did happen to me when I was there, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So before I start, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get this video started. All right, but let's get into this video. Got me some Ciroc. I got to, bro. I hate doing story time videos because I talk a lot, and that's the only way I'm going to be able to get through this video. So yeah, we're just going to get straight into it. All right, so the story starts on Boca Grande Beach. Me and my homie from Chicago, we just kicking it. And on the beach about to close, so I got my drone out there just flying, trying to get some good shots of the sunset. And a group of Colombian guys, they see me with my drone, so they come and approach us and start talking to us or whatever. And pretty much they invite us to a house party, like, hey, yo, we got this house party that we're going to do. Like, we want to invite both of y'all to the house party. My homie, he's telling me, like, yo, J-Rod, that'd be a good idea because you can, like, film a Colombian house party. Like, that'd be a good video for your channel. I was like, all right, bet. So pretty much what they tell us, they're like, yo, we're going to send you the Addy. And, you know, just be ready at this time. So anyways, we end up leaving the beach. We get ready for the party. So we go home, shower, change, do all that. Long story short, they end up standing us up. All right, so I'm out there texting them. I'm like, yo, where y'all at? Like, you know, like we ready to go. And I don't hear nothing from them. You gonna stand me up? J-Rod? Like, you gonna stand me up? I'm like, nah, hell nah. Do you know who this is? No, I'm just playing. But anyways, I did feel some type of way. I'm like, damn, like how they gonna say be ready, and then we get ready, and then they not, you know, responding to the text or anything. And so then my friend, he was like, well, just fuck it, like we'll just go to the club, you know. So what ends up happening is we end up inviting one of my friends from Venezuela to come over to pregame, and we were just getting ready for the club. And it was funny, my friend, he had made this drink. It was called like the Russian Massacre. I don't know specifically what he mixed in it, but like, bruh, I was like, dude, like you trying to get me lit tonight. But yeah, that was a crazy ass drink called the Russian Massacre. But anyway, so it's me and my homie, and then the Venezuelan dude. We end up going to a bar, and then after that we end up going to the Old Town to hit the club. And it was a quick cab ride to the Old Town. That's what I love about Cartagena. Everything's about like 5 or 10 minutes away. Like it doesn't take long to get places at all. But anyways, so we get to the Old Town, and bro, Cartagena was on some bullshit that night. Okay, so we get to this one club, and I forgot the name of it, but they was charging people at the door. And so I said, okay, like I told the Venezuelan guy, I'm like, yo, go ask the bouncer like how much it costs to get in. So he goes up to the door, and he asks him, and the bouncer tells him one price. Then he turns and looks at me, and he accidentally speaks to me in English out loud. And basically the bouncer heard him say that, so he made eye contact with me and was like, oh, that's a gringo. And so he changed the price. I was like, damn, bro, you wasn't supposed to speak English, because like that blew my cover. So they ended up changing the price, and the Venezuelan was like, nah, fuck that. Like, you know, like we'll just go to somewhere else, because, you know, like that's messed up. Like how you gonna have one price and then you're gonna change it, you know? But I was explaining to them like that's normal for gringos. Like they do that a lot. Like no matter what country you go to, they always gonna change the price on you. But anyways, so we end up not going to that club, and we decided that we're just gonna go to Delirium. Had he never accidentally spoke to me in English, they wouldn't have known I was a gringo. I was like, fuck. Oh, by the way, the people who was throwing the house party, they ended up texting me an hour and a half later talking about some where you at. Nah, like, fuck y'all. Because when we was ready, y'all wasn't ready. Like, y'all told us to be ready, and now y'all texting Like, where you at? Nah, I left them on red. I was like, nah, y'all was playing games. But anyways, we all hungry, so we decided to eat some food before we hit the club. And there was like a little hot dog stand. And next to the hot dog stand, I see this mysterious man, okay? And one of my friends, I don't know who said it in a group. I don't know if it was, I think it was the Venezuelan dude. I don't know who said it, but somebody was like, yo, is that Farruko? And for people who don't know who that is like this Puerto Rican singer. Like, he's a really big artist in the Latin community. So I know a lot of y'all don't keep up with that, but like, this dude is like, he got like 20 million followers on Instagram. He's like a big star in the Latin music industry. Yeah, somebody was like, yo, is that Farruko? And I looked at him at first glance and I was like, yo, bruh, I'm not even gonna lie. At first glance, I really thought that was him. Like, it would have fooled you. But the thing is, he was a lot chubbier than the real Farruko. The real Farruko is a little bit smaller than this dude. This dude was like kind of bigger. I was like, damn, he would have got me. Like, if he was a little bit smaller, I definitely would have thought that was him for real. But I was looking, I was like, nah, that's not him. But anyway, so we approached him and we was like, bro, like, we thought you was Farruko. He was like, yeah, everybody be saying that or whatever. So we just get to talking.
Yeah, no, really? Yeah. Look at this, let's push it.
So,
Shot the Farruko, dímelo familia. Era, brother. Que Dios me lo bendiga, mi gente de Chicago. Estamos activos aquí en Cartagena con la bestia. Este tipo es la bestia. Que Dios me lo bendiga. Estamos activos.
and pretty much, come to find out, he says he's brand new to Colombia. He just moved out here. He's only been out here for 2 months. And I'm doing air quotes because you're going to figure out why I'm saying this in the beginning. But he's like, yeah, I'm brand new to Colombia. And he's like a music producer and all this stuff. And then he says like he throws these parties. Then come to find out that this dude is actually Dominican.
Chicago is no, I'm from Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. I'm working here.
I was like, yo, I used to live in Dominican Republic. And we started talking about the DR and all this stuff. And he was like, yeah, I'm from Puerto Plata. Like, that's where he's from. Then my homie from Chicago, he also stayed in Puerto Plata. So he knows a lot about the DR as well. And we just got to talking about the DR. But this is when shit starts getting weird. So we started talking about places in DR. But like when my friend was asking questions about Puerto Plata, he couldn't really answer the questions. It was like, dude, are you really from Dominican Republic, or are you just like saying that? ¿Qué parte?
No sé, cabrón.
Oh, he don't know. You know, because when my friend would ask him like, do you know where this place is? Do you know where this place is? The dude was acting like he didn't know where it was, but it's like, but you from there, you know? So that was a little bit weird. And then he says that he has family in Chicago. Like, he had a tattoo of Chicago on his neck.
Yeah, no, living in Chicago. I'm from Dominicana, but living in Chicago.
And my homie from Chicago, he's like, oh, that's weird, you know, because I don't know that many Dominicans that be staying out in Chicago, but not saying it's impossible, but it just was kind of weird. Like, all his stories just wasn't making sense. So he was saying he's from Dominican Republic, but like he really didn't know much about DR when we was talking to him about it. And then like he was talking about he got family in Chicago, then he's brand new to Colombia. Like, everything he was saying was just like very convoluted and it just wasn't making sense. But like, I guess at the time I didn't really care. I tried to question him hard enough about it because I just didn't give a fuck. Like, I was like, I'm just trying to have a good time. Like, I was in turn up mode, so I really wasn't even really thinking about it that hard. But like afterwards, I was like, bro, like this dude, he did not make any sense. Nothing of what he was saying made sense at all. But this is like me looking back at it. But yeah, so he tells us that he does these parties, and he had like all these party packages on his phone. And he was just telling people like, yeah, like I do parties out here as well. So it just was, I don't know, something was just off about the dude. Like, I didn't really understand him fully, but I guess because, like I said, I was turned at that time, so I just didn't really care to question him enough. But yeah, it was a little bit weird. But anyways, he decides that he wants to tag along with us to Club Delirium. I'm like, all right, bet. But anyways, as we walk into the club, he tells, okay, this is something crazy. So he tells the Venezuelan dude, he's like, I want you to stand on my left. And he tells me, he's like, I want you to stand on my right. And basically, he wanted us to pretend to be his security guards. Because, like, bro, I swear to God, when we was walking through the old town, people was walking up taking pictures. Like, a lot of people really thought that this was the real Farruko, bro. Or Farruko. People was actually walking up. They was like, oh, my God, it's Farruko. Like, people was actually taking pictures, and they was staring at us. Bro, we was walking all through the old town. People was actually, like, stopping. They really thought that this dude was a celebrity. And so that is why on the Instagram picture that I posted, so let me tell you about the Instagram picture I posted. I had tagged Farruko's name on there, and the reason why is because it was a joke. And a lot of people like was really replying to my story. They was like, "Oh my god, like you was in Club Farruko," and I was like, "Nah, like that was a joke, guys." But some people in the comments was like, "Oh, that's not really him," and he wishes that was Farruko. And I'm like, it was painfully obvious that it was not him, but it was just so funny at the fact that a lot of people, they really thought that that was him. And even when we was walking through the city, people was actually coming up taking pictures with him. And it was funny, like my homie from Chicago, he was over it. Like he didn't even, he was like trailing behind us and he was just like, bro, like I'm over this corny ass shit. Like this is some clout chasing type of stuff. Cause I ain't gonna lie, like this dude was a clout chaser and he enjoyed all the attention. But my friend from Chicago, he was like, bro, like, this dude is so corny. But I ain't gonna lie, bro, like, the shit was so funny. So many people thought that we was actually with Farruko. And then we ended up walking into the club, and it was the same thing again, like, people staring at us. And, you know, he had, like, the big jewelry on and the chains and the glasses. So, like, people really thought it was him. So we get into the club. We chill in the club, people doing the same shit. A couple of people coming up, taking pictures with him and stuff. Or whatever, so we chill in the club, vibe, and have a good time. All right, anyways, it's the end of the night. We pay for the bill. We getting ready to go home. The Farruko dude, he pulls me over to the side, and he's like real low-key and discreet about it. And he starts whispering to me. He's like, "Hey, yo, J-Rod." He's like, "I got this after party. Like, y'all got to go to this after party after the club." And he's like, "It's $100 per person," and blah, 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 blah. And like I told you, this dude, he sells parties. Like, on his phone, he has like this whole thing on WhatsApp of the different parties that he throws, like house parties, pool parties, sex parties. Like this dude has all these crazy parties. And in my mind, I'm just thinking like, why do I need to pay somebody else money for some shit I can do on my own? Like I can bring my own people to the crib and do my own parties, you know, but I don't know. I just thought it was a little bit weird that, you know, it's like, I don't need other people, like not to sound cocky, but it's just, but like, I don't need another person to help me, you know, find a way to turn up. Like I can do it on my own. And so, yeah, he was just like very adamant about like us going to this after party. So I'm telling my homie, I'm like, bro, like he really trying to get us to go to this after party. And it's 2 o'clock in the morning. So both of us, we already not trying to go because we like tired as hell. And my homie, he's like, bro, we going home. Like it's 2 o'clock, bro. And then on top of that, we were supposed to live stream anyways, like, so we wanted to live stream after the club. So we already had plans. And then this is something else that my homie told me. He's like, bro, like, this is a setup. Like, he trying to scam us, bro. Like, I feel like he trying to get us to get robbed. And, bro, I swear to God, he been peeped this shit from the beginning. Like, when he said that, I was like, bro, this shit is sketchy as hell. Like, trying to get us to go to this after party. We don't even know where it's at. He's like, bro, like, this is how people get robbed. And, you know, like, that actually did kind of make sense. Like, I'm not going to lie, because it's like, damn, like, he talking about all these after parties. He don't got no pictures, no nothing. He just keep talking about this big after party. And then on top of that, you would think, like, other people would know about it, but, like, nobody knows about it. And, but the Farruko dude, he kept, like, trying to get us to go. And he was like, bro, like, all you got to do is just get on these buses and they'll take you out there and all this stuff. And we was like, nah, like, we're going to go home and live stream. So anyways, me and him, we're going back and forth. He's like, well, why don't you just go? Like, you can leave them and you can just go by yourself. I'm like, hell nah, I'm not finna do that shit. And anyways, he just gets pissed off at me. Like, he gets real angry and he's like, fuck it. So he ends up walking off and we ended up going back home. But come to find out, this is actually a scam in Colombia, okay? So this is an actual thing that they do in Cartagena is they'll get these people to go to these after parties and they'll take them out to these remote locations. They have the buses waiting outside the club, take them out to a remote location, and then have people come on the bus, rob them, take all their stuff. And pretty much to get your stuff back, you got to pay a payout. So they'll like hold your stuff for ransom and be like, okay, we need XYZ amount of money. But then what happens is you don't always get your money back. So like as you're trying to pay to get your stuff back, somebody, they'll take that money and then run off with it. And that also happens at the Clock Tower with the Clock Tower girls. Shout out to my boy Razor Reyes, because he actually just did a video about this. And that's what inspired me to do this video, because I'm like, damn, like this low key was like the same scenario, but like, thank God, you know, like we peeped it beforehand, but like it could have easily been one of us.
And this is how it went. The criminals are on a pretense of trying to sell you a ticket to another party bus or venue after the club closes. However, others go through your pockets, and you are distracted. So he's saying that they distract you, right? They distract you while they're trying to sell you tickets to another venue, And while you are distracted, some females come around you and start giving you hugs and start going through your pockets. So there's a gang of guys and gals out there near the clock tower area that are trying to distract guys outside while going through their pockets. This happened the other day, actually, I guess yesterday.
But like a lot of guys, they'll like get around these girls that like in the clock tower, and they'll kind of like pickpocket and take their stuff while they'll have somebody come up to them and try to sell them a party. So like there'll be people in the clock tower area, they'll try to sell you like these little parties, and then like the girls, they'll like run through the pockets. And let me tell you why they come to the clock tower, because this is usually an area where people drink a lot. So you get it, you know, you coming from the club, you're real drunk. Like, it's an easy way to like steal money and get shit from people. What they'll do is they'll like have these girls like come up to you and try to distract you, take your stuff while somebody's trying to sell you something. And then what ends up happening is you got to buy your stuff back. And as you try to buy your stuff back, they'll take that money and run off with it and hop in the taxi and drive off.
Of tools. They work in groups of tools to also scam, saying they will get the phones back for a down payment. But once they get your money, they run away into a taxi after getting the money.
So like that's like two scenarios. So you got that scenario with the clock tower girls, and then the other scenarios with the party bus. They'll take you out to these remote locations, and then they'll just take your shit right there. So be careful with that. Like, that is a thing in Cartagena. I did not know that until like I started doing research, but like they really do be trying to set tourists up out there. So you got to be careful with that. But yes, once again, shout out to the YouTuber Razor Reyes, because he does a lot of content on things that be happening in Cartagena and Colombia in general. And like, that is an actual scam. I didn't really know about this scam until, like I said, I started doing my research about it. I was like, bro, like, that dude was trying to set us up. Like, he was trying to get us to go on these party buses so that way, like, we can get set up to get our stuff taken. But, like, that's not even the crazy part. All right, so the story gets even more weird, okay? All right, so here's the part where it gets, like, really creepy, all right? It's my last day in Colombia. I call an Uber to come pick me up, and they're taking me to the airport. So he comes by to the apartment, put my luggage in the car or whatever, and we off to the airport. Uber driver, mad weird, son. Like, this dude is just like, he's on something, bro. To me, it felt like he was on cocaine, because the way how he was acting, it was just like he kept sniffling his nose, and then like he was just speaking real fast and just real jittery, very animated. And then on top of that, he was just like extra friendly, just like it was almost too friendly, like it was like forced. And he just was like, oh, you seem like you a good dude and you a nice guy, blah, blah, blah. And he was just kind of talking to me like real fast, bro. And he tells me that he's brand new to Colombia. So once again, another person, they say they're brand new to Colombia. And this dude is actually Italian. So that explains why his Spanish was very hard to understand, because it was like this weird Italian Spanish or whatever. But he tells me that he had lived in Madrid at one point, and that's how he ended up learning Spanish. And I was like, oh, yo, like I used to stay out of Madrid too. So we started talking about life in Spain. And but yeah, like his Spanish was like already kind of hard to understand, because I'm like, bro, like it sounded like he was speaking Italian, but I don't know, it was just like this weird Italian Spanish that he was speaking. Anyways, we drive into the airport, and he keeps telling me, he's like, bro, like I got this big house, it's like 7 bedrooms or whatever. Like next time you come to Cartagena, like you gotta come stay over and all this stuff. Like we can invite people over, have a party, and just like all this crazy shit again. Like once again, another person trying to invite you over to a place, and he's like, yeah, you can come stay at my crib anytime. And in my head, I'm like, no, the fuck I'm not. Like that's just like it's just this weird. Like here we go again. A brand new person, never been to Colombia, they're brand new to the city, and then they trying to like get cool with the gringos so fast and have them over to their place or invite them to places. And in the back of my mind, I was like, nah, like I'm not doing that. But anyways, we're on our way to the airport. He hands me over something, and I can't tell y'all what it is. If y'all want to know what it is, all you got to do is message me on IG, or you can email me. I'm trying to keep this video monetized. But anyways, he hands me over something. And I noticed that we start going a different direction from towards the airport, because on the Uber, like on the map, it'll show you, you know, what direction you're headed to. And I start asking him like, yo, bro, why are we going this way? And he's just like, oh, no, chill. Like, it's good, it's good, it's good. And I'm just like, okay. And then he's still driving, and I noticed we're getting further and further and further away from the airport. I'm like, the airport is headed north. Why are we going out to the opposite direction? So we're just driving and driving and driving. We're getting further away. I'm questioning him because I'm like, bro, and this is when like my anxiety starts kicking in because I'm already trying not to like miss this flight because I got this important meeting tomorrow at my job. And I'm like, bro, if I miss this flight, I can't miss this meeting because I just got a promotion at my job to supervisor. So it's like, dang, like I cannot miss this flight. And he's just driving and driving, and I'm like, bro, like, where are we going? Like, what are you doing? And then I notice we get to like this weird area where the military is based. I guess like where they house like the military, because you got like the Navy base. That's like where the Americans are. But then like I guess this was like the Colombian military. So we driving through this, and then next thing I know, we end up in this empty, vacant parking lot. I'm like, oh hell, fucking nah. I'm looking around, I'm like, bro, like, I'm about to be kidnapped, like straight up. Like that was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, bro, I'm either about to be like human trafficked or I'm about to get kidnapped. Now I'm like freaking out because in my mind, I'm like, bro, like this shit is mad sketchy, bro. So I'm like yelling at him. I'm like, bro, if you don't take us back to the airport, like I'm cussing him out. Like I sound calm now, but in that moment, like I was going off on him. I'm like, bro, like take us back to the airport. Like, what are you doing? And that's why I explained to him, like, bro, like I can't miss this flight. You know, I'm going off on him, and I'm just telling him, like, bro, like, I need to get back to the airport. He's like, all right, no, calm down, tranquilo, like, I'll turn the car around. So he turns the car around, and we ended up going back to the airport. And I feel like he only did that because he saw how angry I was getting. Because, like, I promise you, I was about 5 seconds away of calling my homie and be like, bro, like, I need your help, bro. Like, I was really dead ass about to call him. But let me tell you why it was creepy, because we in a vacant parking lot, bro. That means one or two things. Either A, somebody about to come up and it's going to be the same shit like with the whole party bus thing where someone going to take your stuff. Because, I mean, if you really think about it, that's a perfect opportunity. They got their suitcase, laptop. I had all my shit with me. So it was like, I'm headed to the airport. That's like the perfect opportunity to rob somebody when they got all the things on them. Or number two, they was going to take somebody because they be doing that in Colombia. Like, I mean, I ain't trying to scare people, but they do be kidnapping people. Like, you can go read about all the articles. Like, that stuff does happen sometimes. Not trying to scare people, but it does. So that was like the two things that I feel like were about to go down. But here's the part that's weird. So on Instagram, it will recommend you to follow people based off of the numbers you got in your contacts. And I had this dude's number in my contact. So I ended up going on his Instagram. Yo, and tell me why this dude is posted up in a picture with the Farruko dude. So they know each other. I'm like, what? Like, this shit is crazy. So I messaged him. I'm like, how you know this guy? He's like, oh, yeah, me and him, we friends. We cool. And I was like, oh, really? And so I was like, so what does this Farruko dude do? And he was like, oh, his parents, they own different clubs in Colombia. But when we met the guy, he said that he didn't have no family in Colombia. All his people's in Dominican Republic and Chicago. So once again, it just was very confusing. And then on top of that, they both kind of have a very similar story. Like, they're both brand new to Colombia. They don't have any friends out here, and they trying to like get gringos to go to these different parties and stuff. And that's what the guy was telling me in the car. He's like, bro, like when you come, like on our way to the airport, that's what he kept saying. He's like, bro, like next time you come to Cartagena, you can stay at my place. Cause like, you know, like I throw these parties and like I got 7 bedrooms and all this shit. So basically they're in the same business. That's what I'm starting to realize. And once again, I can't like directly be like, yo, that's what was about to happen. But when you look at the writing on the wall, it only makes sense, bro. It only makes sense. Because why would you be so adamant about trying to get somebody to go to a party and then you get mad that they don't go to a party? And then on the same thing with this guy, the Italian guy, you taking me out to this vacant parking lot. Like, dude, I'm not stupid. I done been in this travel game for a while now. Like, I know what's up when stuff is about to go down. Because let me tell you, I got set up in Dominican Republic. Bro, who remembers that story I did on my channel? Like, this is probably about 3 years ago. But it was in Santo Domingo, bro. Like, I got set up at this hotel because I was at a music video shoot for, like, this Dominican artist. And basically, the chick, she was trying to get her people to come and rob me, but she was playing stupid in the hotel. And as this whole shit was going on, she trying to keep me in the hotel room as the people trying to come into the hotel room. I'm realizing what's going on. But by the time her people coming in, I'm realizing that I'm being set up. So I end up escaping the hotel. Like, I'm running through Santo Domingo, hop in the taxi, bro. Like, that was the craziest story time. I think out of all the story times, that's probably like the craziest one. But yeah, so it's like, I know what it's like to be set up. Like, I know when something's about to happen, like I can kind of like vet it out and be like, okay, like this shit is off. And let me tell you, a prime example of a red flag is when someone is trying to get you in a particular location and they want you to be there. That's usually a red flag that somebody's trying to set you up. Because they did the same shit in Cali, Colombia. When I was out in Cali, downtown, it was like these prostitute chicks. They was like, yo, like, you need to go to this hotel. Like, they was like, we trying to drink and chill in this hotel. I was like, nah, like, I already know what y'all about. So anytime you traveling and people trying to get you to meet up somewhere specifically and they like very eager to get you to go there, like you got to be careful with that because that's a red flag. Now, I can't say that these dudes are criminals, but I'm not a damn idiot. And you can't tell me that that's not what they was trying to do. How ironic is y'all both friends? Y'all both had the same backstory. Y'all both aren't from Colombia. Y'all both are brand new to Colombia. Y'all need friends. Y'all throwing parties. Y'all want people to come over to these different parties and shit. Like, come on now. Like, I'm not stupid. Oh, and here's another thing. The Farruko dude, the fake one. Yeah, so like when we was walking through the city, tell me why it was people that knew who this dude was. Like, but you supposed to be brand new. Like, I'm not talking about like, you know, forget about the photos and the people thinking that he's a celebrity. Like, nah, it was people that was actually talking to him. And that was something that my homie from Chicago, he had mentioned. He was like, bro, like, how is it that like it's people that know this dude so much? It seemed like he knew like a lot of like the local people and they was like coming up talking to him like, hey yo, what's up, bro? And it's just like, but you supposed to be brand new to the city. So I don't know, like I said, to me it just was very sketchy and I feel like that it was just very shady, like, you know, what was going on in the old town. So y'all just gotta be careful. So yeah guys, when y'all going out to Colombia, just avoid that at all costs. If people trying to get you to go to parties or like these different things. Remember that when I said those group of guys they invited us to the party and then they ended up standing us up, they could have been on that shit too. You know, like it's just like stuff like that happens, bro. So that's the only thing I'll say about Cartagena is y'all got to watch out for like being like invited to stuff because if you don't got no pictures, if you don't because even pictures don't really prove shit either because people be faking with that. Y'all just need to be careful, bro. And if you out there by yourself, definitely you should not be getting drunk when you by yourself. Because if you by yourself and the moment you get drunk, like you just become an easier target. So, you know, luckily I was with my friends and like we had each other's back if something went down. But, you know, a lot of you guys, y'all travel solo. And most of the time I travel solo too. Like 90% of the time I'm traveling, you know, to these countries alone. So, but that's something else that I try to tell people to do is be careful about like getting drunk by yourself because that's another way where you can end up to get into a situation that you don't want to be in. But yeah, that is my story time. I still love Cartagena. I think it's a dope city. But you do need to be paying attention to stuff like that. And, you know, safety first, guys. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Catch you in my next one. All right, peace.